Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. I gotta do this. Dead CMOS batteries rock, don't they? Let's see. And it uses 24-hour time. So that would be 22, 30. If it's a minute off. Right now, it doesn't really matter. Without further ado, let's get right to it. I'm playing it a bit safe when it comes to the game audio volume this stream. Because if you were not aware, Sonic Adventure is a really loud game. And because I'm in the GDMU, running games off a micro SD card, you technically have to sit through the Dreamcast logo three different times. But that's okay, because it's one of the best startups in gaming history. In my humble opinion. Nice and to the point. Back when console menus had personality. For the third and final time, this is the Sega Dreamcast, and we're returning to Sonic Adventure All Emblems tonight. Though that deserves a qualifier. That statement deserves a qualifier. And there are a few things you'll probably notice. First thing being that I am not streaming off the CRT this time. I'm not using the mini HDMI to HDMI adapter like I might have done once or twice. It has been a minute since I've streamed this game. I'm not doing that. I'm not streaming it off the CRT in S-Video. I'm feeding it through the upscaler because that's the most convenient solution for me right now, so apologies about the colors looking bad. We have sat through the intro, so I can skip that. Also, it should be known. It should be known that I am not doing non-Chow emblems. I'm not doing non-Chow emblems for a while, because I can elucidate later once we get in.
Select a character.
But to level up your Chow in this game, to really efficiently level them up, you have to transfer them to the VMU, the Dreamcast memory card, and play a little game called Chow Adventure. This system returned later in Sonic Adventure 2 as well, under the name Chow Adventure 2. Now, obviously, that one is way more robust of a system than this, but regardless, both of them need the VMU to work. The VMU's batteries are really crappy, so I'm not going to be bothering with that until I get a third-party solution. I believe it's called the VM2. It can be charged with USB-C, has way better battery life, can hold way more storage on it, and yeah. So basically, and I can't afford that for a while. So after we get all the non-Chow emblems in this run, I'm just going to jump straight to Sonic Adventure 2 and do the same there, and perhaps return to the project at these projects at a later date to get the remaining Chow emblems, or the remaining emblems which are just Chow related. But without further ado, let's jump into Tails' campaign.
Here I come, Sonic!
I figure it's been a while since I've played Sonic Adventure 1, just to begin with, so I'm just gonna focus on the main story emblems and then go back for everybody's additional emblems in their stages.
Everything's working great! All systems go, full speed ahead.
Hopefully the game audio is alright. In fact, I'm gonna mute my mic temporarily to
What's
view it
this?
on my phone and make sure the game audio is being picked up. And yours truly as well.
Ah! I'm out of control! Mayday! Mayday! Going down! Ah!
So it appears it seems the game audio is still a little too loud, so I'm going to lower it even more.
Boy, you're lucky I saw you come down.
And I'm going to take a moment to
So
test
what
that.
went wrong anyway? It's not like you to crash like that.
Yeah, it's just that I'm testing a new prototype power supply, and it's not fully compatible yet.
You can always borrow my plane, the Tornado, if you want.
Thanks, Sonic. But if I can make this work, it'll run circles around yours. Check out this power supply.
Seems it's still too loud, even at negative 31
Chaos
dB.
Emerald. No way!
I was lucky to find one of the 7 Chaos Emeralds. They have unlimited mystic powers.
Now it is at negative 36.2 dB, negative 38. This might be overkill, but I want to make sure the VOD isn't screwed up.
Hop on a train and get there in no time.
It seems the volume is really only getting affected by... Or it's really only affecting the game audio as I hear it in my headphones right now.
This hotel is nice.
Change it to negative 15.1. Okay, sorry about that delay. Negative 7... Oh, God! Oh, God.
This hotel is nice.
It's doubling. 1 second. Forgot I had audio only on from watching another streamer on the Twitch app. And forgot that when locking my phone. So, let me see about raising the Elgato just a little bit. 29.8. And this will be the last check. I'm so sorry.
This hotel is nice.
Okay. Enough fiddling with audio. That was 10 minutes. I apologize. Negative 35 on the Elgato. Negative 7.6 on the desktop audio. Just saying this out loud so I remember it for next time. It's a little quiet for me, but it won't be deafening for y'all when you watch it later.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Sonic and Tails.
I do appreciate that when you go through an event that you've already seen before as another character, the dialogue from each the dialogue is different. Usually, it's different. There are exceptions, and I'll point those out. Alright, so the Egg Hornet, once again, this time is Tails with no homing attack cheese, sadly. You can do this, though. Hold down the action button while in the air, and you descend way faster. This will make speedrunning Tails' levels pretty damn fun. In fact, even on the GameCube version, I can speak from experience. It really does. I just realized there is an upgrade in Station Square I forgot to grab. And it will make these levels go by way quicker, so... My apologies, I need to go back and get it after this cutscene. Not playing the game without it. What a weird defeat animation.
That was just too easy.
Agreed. For the most part, the bosses in this game do not pack that much of a punch. Even Adventure 2s, I would say, are harder.
Chaos.
That's the monster I saw the other day.
Monster?
Monster indeed. Well, it's still not got nothing on like Frankenstein's monster, but then again, Frankenstein's monster didn't terrorize a whole city and flood it, so I don't know what I'm saying there.
All he needs is 7 emeralds to become invincible. Then he will turn Station Square into rubble, upon which I will build the ultimate city, Robotnik Land. You ready, Chaos? Let's go find the next emerald. Come on.
Tails, what are you doing?
God, good riddance.
We can't let that monster get any bigger. It could get ugly.
You're right. Chaos must be stopped. And he can be if we keep him away from more emeralds, right? So what do you say, Sonic? Let's find the Chaos Emeralds before Eggman does.
Tails takes way more of a lead in his own story. Sometimes it feels like they just did the equivalent of like swapping some of their lines around in the script and making some minor changes. It can give off that impression anyway. You know, obviously that's not what went down. Oh, let's grab this while we're here. Yeah. Yep. Up in here, we can find the jet anklet.
Look, it's your jet anklet. Its jet power makes you fly faster.
Gotta go fast, as they say. Whoa! Collision with something there. The flight feels way better with the giant clip. As will this stage. Now just watch how quickly you can beat this. The draw distance is a thing of beauty, I tell you. A minute 4. Could probably have even been even faster. As fun as that is to do, it's sadly kind of the peak of Tails' gameplay in this game, in my opinion. The next level is more boxed in and a little cramped, so to speak. So it fares a little bit better there. But then you have Ice Cap after that, which is the snowboarding gimmick. So it's not every level that gets cheesed by Tails' flight. But of his 5 stages, 3 can easily be cheesed with that. Which is part of the fun. But it doesn't have as much staying power, and without like a ranking system, like in say Adventure 2, doesn't have as much replayability. Because the extra emblem missions are more akin to like the extra power stars in say Super Mario Galaxy 1 or 2. If I had to compare them to something. They're there for completion, not for mastery. Even though mastery can come, and probably will come, you know, especially with how healthy the speedrunning community for this game is. Hell, even this version, even with its downsides like no cutscene skipping, some different collision here and there, and just other weird quirks like the Chow Adventure stuff I mentioned.
See you later, Tails.
Fuck are you talking about, Willis? See you later. I'm way ahead of you, buddy. Even though you're rubber banding like a bitch.
Come on. Hey, Tails.
Why do they put 3 shields in a row? I don't remember them doing that. It looks like 3 anyway.
What's that?
I do appreciate how quickly the system loads with the GDMU as opposed to the disk.
What happened to the Chaos Emerald?
Eggman got one of them. But the other one's safe. He must be getting desperate.
Now the emerald count is 2-1 and Eggman's winning. Let's get a move on.
And get a move on we shall.
The train headed for the Mystic Ruins will be departing soon.
Once you're in the train, the D-pad moves the camera. Never thought to try that too much before this session. Oh yeah, the D-pad is how you get first-person view in this game. Sort of first-person, anyway. You learn something new every day. I thought this version just had the L and R button, L and R trigger camera rotation. But no. Time for Ice Cap.
Come on, Tails. See you later, Tails. You made it. Come on. Hey, Tails. See you later, Tails. All right, Tails.
Probably the hardest level of Tails' story right here. Speed Highway is also pretty difficult when you're a kid, and intimidating because you're racing Eggman rather than Sonic, but at least there you have your normal controls, you know? Here it's the snowboarding that isn't quite as refined as Sonic Adventure 2.
See you later, Tails.
Ah, missed the timing on that.
Hey, Tails.
Those don't hurt you, they don't even stun you, really. Tails just goes, ow! And then you're back to normal. Don't lose any rings or anything.
Hey, Tails.
But overall, yeah, this is the level you cut the closest to winning, even on the main emblem. The main mission, so to speak. Because the third emblem for every Tails stage is racing against a faster opponent. Which also means they rubber band more often. But even without rubber banding, you cut that one pretty close that I just did. So that's why I contend that it's harder than Speed Highway. And Skydeck, which we'll see in a little bit, is also a joke.
Don't mess with me now. Just hand over the emeralds you have. Quick.
No way, Knuckles.
No way.
Oh no. Oh no. Give it. Oh no.
Oh no.
Whoa! Oh
No shit.
Bumbling idiot. You know that.
Hey, those are the Chaos Emeralds.
You are so easily tricked. All I did was wait for you to bring it to me.
What the heck is he talking about anyway?
Don't you realize when you've been tricked? Tricked? No one makes a fool out of me. Way to go, knucklehead.
So that right there is a recycled line from Sonic's story, the Knucklehead line.
Count them. 4 emeralds. I summon chaos. Come forth. Here, eat up.
Oh no! It's changing again! We gotta stop this fast!
Once again, time for the worst boss in the game. Chaos Force sucks. It is very reactive, very passive. It's a very reactive and, like, you spend a lot of time waiting for this asshole to come out, and it's complete RNG whenever he does pop his head out. If there's any consolation, it's that Tails, I believe, only has to hit him 4 times, whereas Sonic and Knuckles have to hit him 5. Maybe it's a thing in universe to comment on how Tails isn't as powerful as those two. But what I think is they should have just designed a better boss. Yep, 3 times, 1 more time, and he's done for. And you cannot stay in the water too long, otherwise you take damage. Dude just kind of swims around. Doesn't really attack you. Except for his shockwaves and one attack which we may or may not see where he splits himself up into like little water balls. Okay, I guess he's not using it. He's more likely to use it in the Sonic and Knuckles fights, I guess. Basically splits up into water balls and you have to dodge them. Which I'm glad he didn't do that because it makes the fight take longer. I don't know if I commented on this in Session 2, but as a game, I've kind of soured on Sonic Adventure 1, if I'm being honest.
Behold my floating masterpiece.
Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog, by the way, more recycled dialogue. This is exactly the same as it is in the Sonic story. Exactly the same dialogue.
Until we meet again, my friend.
Yeah, they didn't record new stuff for this one, for this version. But Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog remain my 2 favorite 3D Sonic games, at least when we're not counting racing games like the All-Stars Racing spin-offs.
Let's get to my workshop and we'll
Up until recently, I even considered Riders 1 in the running for favorite. But it's grindy. It's too grindy for its own good with unlocking everything. And I don't find Turbulence that fair of a mechanic. If I get to streaming some of that game's mission mode, which I still haven't beaten all missions in that game, or gotten all gold on all of them, gold rankings on all of them,
for a second.
I can elucidate more on it there. But with Adventure 1, it feels like one of those games, again, with the emblem system. Like, I appreciate that the emblems are there. It gives the completionists something to strive for. But unlike Sonic Adventure 2, or even the missions in Shadow the Hedgehog, as simple as they can be to A rank in that game, with time being the main factor, time bonus, it still feels more fun to play than this game on on this game's best days even. Because look at this, we have a repeat of a minigame that we played in Sonic Story that doesn't have a lot of meat to it. This poor man's Star Fox is what this is. And to get an emblem in this, you have to... I believe you have to purposely score lower. You have to purposely score low on your first round, and then beat that high score for the second emblem, if I remember correctly. At least that's how I remember my friend Sunset, who I used to work with on Lowbrow Comms. That's how I remember her having to do it. Because I guessed it on her Let's Play of this game that no longer exists due to a channel termination. She has a new channel now, though, so... Or she went back to an old channel that she had, and that's where she does stuff currently. So good for her. Yeah. I don't really find Sonic Adventure that fun these days. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a downer. But over the years I've come to realize what I appreciate more in games, and that is, among other things, it's skill expression, striving to do better, which this game does have, slightly. But due to it being their first time really with the formula, they obviously hadn't worked the kinks out yet. Yeah, they hadn't worked the kinks out, and there's a lot of shit here, even besides the obvious stuff like Big the Cat, that just doesn't work. Like, this right here is a nice homage on its own to Sky Chase Zone from Sonic 2. But even that is more in line with that game's base gameplay. Even with it being a glorified auto-scroller. Also, funny low-poly Sonic right there. Like, you're jumping on enemies on while riding on the plane there. I will say, I do appreciate at least that this minigame... Oh, they don't give you an emblem there the first time. I forgot about that. This minigame is at least over with it's at least over with way quicker than their attempt at recapturing this sort of vibe was in Sonic Unleashed with the 2 tornado defense levels. Those are glorified 4 to 5 minute long QuickTime events that reuse the same boss in both stages, by the way, with very little changes. With very few changes. Overall, do I think Sonic Adventure holds up? You'll have to ask me that again, or I'll have to posit that question again when I reach Supersonic's credits, and perhaps again once I have all the non-Chao emblems. And even after getting the Chao emblems. Which is not something I exactly look forward to, unfortunately. But right now, I don't have very positive feelings about this game, gameplay-wise anyway.
So much to Sonic. Sonic! Wonder where he went. Sure hope he's alright. The tornado's not powerful enough. If I'm gonna get that egg carrier, I need to finish my prototype. It needs a Chaos Emerald to work. Looks like I better find one fast.
Let's go and do that. There is an emblem over here I can get. I'm just getting these as I remember them, pretty much. The ones out in the adventure field. Oh, come on. Yep. Couldn't grab that as Sonic. At least I don't know a way how to.
Wow! There's a Chaos Emerald! Hey! Wait up! Stop!
And because the snowboarding was so fun the first time, the first two times, do it because I did it as both Sonic and Tails. They have you do it a third time. And then one more time after this for an emblem, if I remember correctly. At least they have the gates that you can chain together, so that's kind of neat. Ah, come on. And you probably can't hear it too well, but the music for Sand Hill is really good. Of course, they would later reference this place in the most asinine way in Sonic Forces. Much love to Roger Craig Smith, but that line of Green Hill's looking a lot more like Sand Hill right now is just. I'm not saying Roger's performance was bad, but that is the most half-assed throwback. I mean, well, I'm not even sure if they meant it to be a throwback because they turned Green Hill into like a sandy hill place in that particular level. It has been a hot minute since I've played Forces, and I don't plan to ever again. It's a bad game.
You found the rhythm badge. To do continuous tail attacks, hold the action button down.
Oh, you can. Wow. They had rings and an extra life in the flashback area that you only go to once. I did not know that. Play around it just to demonstrate that you can do it that way, or that you can use it like that. And that's the extent of how you use it in this version. If I remember correctly, there is a mission where you get rid of weeds in the mission mode of Sonic Adventure DX, and you get rid of them with the rhythm badge.
Hello there, friend. How are you?
What were you saying before?
Huh. It's something my grandmother taught me. I'm never to forget it. It goes like this. The servers are the seven chaos. Chaos is power, power enriched by the heart. The controller is the one that unifies the chaos.
Yes, this controller in my hand unifies the Chaos Emeralds. Too bad there's not a classic Sonic game on Dreamcast, officially anyway. I mean, there is the Sega Smash Pack, I believe,
Emeralds?
but we don't talk about that.
But I don't think we've ever met before. I'm Tikal. And you are?
The sound emulation in that collection is absolute dog shit. Of course, there is a fan port of Sonic Mania that recently came out for Dreamcast also, which I might check out at some point on this stream. Because Sonic Mania is one of the few Sonic games post 2005 that I think is pretty good. That is a whole loaded topic in and of itself.
Weird. Now where was I?
I'm just completely brushing past the Big the Cat appearance there.
This will get my tornado 2 up and raring to go.
Yeah. If one were to see like a tier maker list of how I'd rank Sonic games,
The time has come at last.
I don't know.
Brain should work a lot better.
They might think, "Oh, Tails is not standing on the ground; he's just floating above it."
So, here it goes.
They might think, "Oh, why do you even like this franchise?" It's the thing, I do.
Here I come.
There are just few games in the series that I would consider great, and my standards have evolved over time. In fact, that might even be a little bonus thing I do after this stream, is show off my tier list.
Tornado 2.
Briefly elaborate, not elucidate, on some things. Like where I would rank this game, for example.
There you are. Get ahead. The egg carrier. There's Sonic. Sonic!
All right, Tails. Way to go. This plane's cool.
Did you even break open the capsule, my guy?
Now what do you say we nail those guys?
You got it. Hang on.
His model gets all weird. Sonic's model gets all weird looking when he's on the plane. Like a weird fusion dance of his classic model from like Sonic Jam or Sonic R or a game like that and his modern design. Strange, and it's exclusive to this version too. Like it looks more consistent with how he normally looks in the DX port. To the best of my memory. Anyway. Again, so nice. They had to make you do it twice. I never look forward to replaying this. If it wasn't obvious, I never look forward to replaying Sky Chase. Either act. At least this one to my memory, at least going off of Sunset's old playthrough, is more generous on the point, on the score requirements. But the stage itself does go longer than the first. Like if only you had like a barrel roll or a special dodge maneuver.
So far, so good.
Hope you know what you're doing.
You bet. Watch it. Transforming now. Let's do it.
Oh, come on. He still fired from behind me. Did you see that? I am not a fan of this. And as much as I like the Dreamcast version, these sections don't feel great to play in 30 FPS. I will say that. Alright, time to mash the A button. I remember in DX as a kid, at least on GameCube, you could mash on the Gatling gun and beat him in like one cycle. But apparently here I wasn't mashing fast enough. There's something different about the logic in GX. Or DX. I don't know why I'm saying GX. Like it's 69%. Nice. Like this is fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Or some shit. I need to take a sip of my drink here.
Coming in tight.
Tails, we gotta land on the egg carrier.
Oops. We got a problem here.
What now?
I forgot to put in the landing gear.
Whoa! Wow, this thing is really huge.
No time to gawk, Sonic. We gotta find Amy.
You're right, pal. Let's get busy.
I'm sorry. That that line from Sonic there. Let's get busy. Yeah, it's to the point, but it's not. It's to the point, but it's not as entertainingly cheesy as "You're right, my friend. So here we go" from his own story. And no meme here from Eggman either, sadly.
How about I give you a little sample?
Whoa! Hey, it transformed. Did you see that?
Of course, I mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I get a Steam notification. My friend Cody, who's been on these streams before, is playing Master Duel right now.
Only one way to get to me, Sonic, and that's through the sky. I doubt if you can make it. Ha ha! I dare you!
Just watch me. Bring it on, Eggman.
So, this must be the sky deck, huh?
Just slips right off screen. That always happens. Not off screen, but like neither he nor Sonic can stay in place during that little cutscene there.
Come on, Tails.
Oh, oops. This was even quicker than fucking Windy Valley. 4691.
That wasn't too bad.
I like me a fast level, and I like me a speed run. But these are... Sorry. These are a bit on the simplistic side for me, personally. And from here, we're pretty much railroaded right to the end. We have Gamma into Speed Highway into the Egg Walker. And then credits.
You're a bit late.
Not the birdie! That's a Chaos Emerald! No way!
Be gone, all of you. This is all I really need. Gamma? What is your wish, Master?
He shouldn't be hovering. He doesn't have the jet booster. Just looks weird without it.
Get rid of these pests. Give them all you got. Aye, aye, Master Robotnik. I'll leave it up to you, Gamma.
I actually don't know. If you get the if you get the jet booster, like let's say you get to unlocking Amy as Sonic, and then you, let's say, I love how it was facing me the wrong way. I don't remember. It's not supposed to be doing that. Usually it starts you facing Gamma. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, you unlock Amy, play to the point where you unlock Gamma from her story.
Please stop, Tails!
I forget if the jet booster renders in the boss fight model of Gamma or not.
This robot is my friend! He helped me! Don't hurt him!
Another recycled line. This robot is my friend. He helped me. Don't hurt him.
Okay.
Same from Sonic's story.
You have your reasons, I guess. Hey, this ship is losing altitude!
Hurry, Tails! Take Amy and get out of here!
Well, what about you?
I'll fight
Another one.
this man and put a stop to his evil ways.
It's like they ran out of time. It's almost like they ran out of time. Like Jennifer Dooleyard, they couldn't get her back to the studio. That's Amy's voice actress. And so they just reused her. Oh, no, no, no. She said, please stop it, Tails. Didn't she? Yeah. But yeah, the rest of it is all just recycled. But yeah, maybe they just only got her for that one line and didn't have time to contact her for more. It would not surprise me knowing that Ryan Drummond had to fill in for some of Shadow's lines at the end of Adventure 2 during the final Hazard fight. Sadly, Jennifer Dooleyard, to my knowledge anyway, I can check after the stream otherwise. But to my knowledge, she doesn't have as much of an online presence or even much of a convention presence compared to particularly Ryan Drummond, Scott Dreyer or Dreer, or David Humphrey,
I wonder what happened to Sonic.
or Mariah Angeline. She played Maria in Adventure 2. It's like those four and John St. John
And now my egg.
are the Adventure era actors from this series that are still regulars on con circuits. Lottie Manila too, actually. Now that I think about it. Rouge. The train station announcer for Station Square in this game.
If that missile is launched,
Ready? Fire!
One of the best line deliveries in the game coming up.
Oh, no, it was a dud. I can't believe this.
I find that really underrated. That delivery of, I can't believe this! And the dud part.
I'd better get to that missile before he detonates it. I see it. I Sonic hit it before Eggman. The fate of Station Square depends on me. Oh, Sonic. I've changed a lot since I started hanging with Sonic. But I can't depend on him forever. I know I can do this by myself. Okay, Eggman, bring it on!
See, bits like that of character development, those are that's one of the things I like about Adventure 1.
You think you can keep up with me?
Stuff like that, stuff like the music, the aesthetics, the voice acting, as cheesy as some of it can be. Oh, they have an invisible wall here in this version. Rip that speedrun tactic, I guess.
You think you can keep up with me? Goodbye, Tails.
Goodbye, Tails, as I pass him. Okay, yeah. Now it's coming back to me. Except they have another invisible wall. Jeez.
Goodbye, Tails.
Yeah, those circular areas, they just have invisible walls around them in this version. I don't recall the X being like that. Oh yeah, Ice Cap is Tails' hardest level. Proceeds to die twice, 3 times, 2 or 3 times. I haven't been keeping track. Um, on a supposedly easier level. Which, yes, I do think this is easier, casually, and when you know what you're doing. Tails' flight is just too OP. Especially when you know the descending option. Of course, like a lot of things in this game, it's taken some getting used to playing it at 30 FPS after not having played it, period, for a while.
Oh no, it's Robotnik! So you beat me to the missile, you little pest. I will make you all pay for this.
Oh, sure you will, buddy.
You fool. Away, before I make mincemeat out of you.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
Another great delivery.
I can do this.
Rest in peace, Dean Bristow. You are the superior Eggman VA, in my opinion. At least when it comes to the games. Yeah. Even discounting Mike Pollock's recent controversies, I think Dean Bristow strikes the balance between threatening and comedic way better. Not to say Mike doesn't have some great deliveries of his own, which he does. Oh, he's on an angle. That's interesting. Yeah, he's not lined up. Usually he is with like the sidewalk there. He's on like a diagonal. I didn't I didn't think he could do this. Or I never paid attention to it normally. It just looks odd. And that is Tails' story. Mute to take another sip.
Hey, I did it!
You saved the day! You're the best!
I did it all by myself.
It is pretty jarring having Believe in Myself start 3 times in the span of like 2, maybe 2.5 minutes. Yeah, it's like you have it start in the scene of him in the city, then in Mystic Ruins, and now again for the credits. Like, why would you do that? Like, you can at least write off the Adventure Field music restarting when you enter new rooms as an oversight because they corrected that in DX and every port onwards. But this weird choice here is present in every re-release. But yeah, overall, Tales' story is, again, it's fun to speed run the levels when you know the tricks to the flying. But without a ranking system, like I said, and with the levels being as simple as they are, it almost comes off like sloppy seconds the story. Not helping matters is the fact that I believe it's Corey Bringus in this one of the Bringus brothers. Whichever Bringus brother voiced him in this version, like, don't get me wrong, it helps them sound authentic to the character's age, because Tails is only like 8. But a lot of these deliveries, even compared to, some of Ryan Drummond's hokier lines, it's not the best look. The Japanese probably sounds a little better. I have not actually played through Sonic Adventure in Japanese. Even with all the flaws that I've listed about Tails, I can still list him as one of the good playstyles of this game, even though I don't think there's much to it. The stories in this game that I think are good are Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Gamma, and technically Supersonic. Amy is really slow and clunky, and Big is his own can of worms. Like, what else is there to say about Big that hasn't already been said? And we're also getting way ahead of ourselves. Save the big bitching for when we get to Big's story. These end cards are nice though. I will say that. There's our 34th emblem of, I believe, 130? Or it's either 120 or 130. I would need to check again. I have Adventure 2's total memorized. It's 180. But not this game, or Heroes for that matter. Let's jump right into Knuckles. Sadly, we're not playing through the E3 build with the vastly different voice. Same voice actor, it's Michael McGahern, but with vastly different direction. More of a Superman-esque take. I think both takes are pretty good.
What the?
His spine clipping through his arm.
What's going on here? Oh no! Something's happened to the Master Emerald! Huh? Who are you? Did you do this? Oh, I'll get you for this! Oh! Hey! No fair!
Peeked the microphone a little bit there.
Wait! What's happening to you? Come back here! Whoa, that was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Oh no, it's starting to happen. Without the Master Emerald's power, this whole island will fall into the ocean.
Yeah, the whole fun fact, the famous "Oh no" line comes from the E3 build. It's that take of "Oh no, it's starting to happen" in that scene.
It's up to me to find the missing pieces of the Master Emerald. It won't be easy. Pieces flew off everywhere. Guess I better start looking anywhere I can.
Unlike with Tails, we can't get any upgrades immediately as Knuckles. But that's no big deal. Oh, I see it. Oh, come on. I can definitely see why some people prefer Adventure 1 to Adventure 2. If they're not a fan of ranking systems, which you might not be a big fan of, like, the arcades and shit, where a lot of genres originated, you know, in that case. Or maybe they just think Adventure 1's level design is better, which, and like I said, there are things to appreciate about this game. I personally don't think the level design is all that hot, aside from, like, Sonic's alternate paths. But it serves its purpose. I don't even know where she went. Did she go up? No. Oh, is it in the enemy? No, it's not. What? Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry. I've never seen that happen. He's supposed to do his end level pose there, but because the final piece was in a weird spot, he just sort of ends it awkwardly in his idle pose. I've never seen that happen. I was like, okay, now what? Oh my god. This game at least has stuff like that too. Weird little glitches even on the Dreamcast version. Thankfully that one doesn't affect play, unlike some of the more infamous ones that can happen, particularly on DX, like the loop glitch in Emerald Coast that Egoraptor triggered in the Game Grumps run. Where am I going? Oh, it's literally right there. No, Knuckles cannot play pinball, if you were wondering. He can if you come here in the character select mod on the Steam version. At least I believe he can. It looks really jank, but it works. I think it's up there. Come on. You know what I might be able to do... And this is also because... What the... Sorry, I'll go back to that thought as soon as I find this last piece. Oh, it's in the mouth. Okay, I see that. There we go. He does his pose like he's supposed to. Supposed to? Ha ha ha. At the end of this run, or at some point in these streams, I can show off some lowbrow comms edits that never saw the commentated light of day. Because, fun fact, one of the games that we were supposed to do on that channel before we disbanded was Sonic Adventure. This version. And yours truly was the one who recorded it. I made some edits that I'm pretty proud of and that did see the light of day on the Raw's channel, but after we made the decision to disband, the uncommentated playthroughs, at least the ones that I had put up on the Raw's channel, that we had technically commentated over, but just agreed to shelve, because we just had scheduling conflicts and couldn't record anymore. Couldn't record together anymore. Sonic Adventure being one of them. So those videos are lost media, but I can at least show off some of those edits, like, because I'm pretty proud of them personally. I can show off some of the edits as like a little bonus portion of these streams because I do still have that playthrough on an external hard drive, along with one of the Shadow the Hedgehog parts that I recorded with a little music swap joke that I might just upload standalone because I'm that proud of it. And it surprisingly fits.
Now where am I?
More on that later.
Back in Station Square, I see.
Yeah.
What's going on here anyway?
That's a good question.
I wonder what those guys are doing. Hey, it's Dr. Eggman. What's he got there? It's gotta be a part of the Master Emerald. Hold on! Come back here!
The only time in the game you take this second elevator. The other one takes you, the one on the left takes you to the Chow Garden. This one takes you to just this boss arena.
Give me back the Master Emerald.
Knuckles. Oh, this isn't what you're after.
You're right.
That's okay, though. I can use you as a guinea pig to test it. Chaos! Chaos!
Chaos? It's that creature again. The same one I saw on my island. He was there when the Master Emerald shattered. I'm sure of it. He saved me the trouble of looking for him. Now I'll get him good.
I think this scene is one of the ones where I prefer the E3 take on Knuckles' lines.
Way to go, Chaos!
Ha! Changing shape won't scare me. Fine, give it your best shot.
Dude just let himself get hit there. Brain dead boss fight. At least it's over with quicker than Chaos 4. Who, surprise, surprise, we have to fight one more time in this story.
You have yet to see the true powers of Chaos.
Yeah, that still doesn't faze me. You hear?
I know something that might. It's about Sonic.
What? What about Sonic?
He's after the pieces of the Master Emerald too.
What do you mean?
You're not the only one on a wild goose chase, idiot. Why should I ruin your surprise?
That laugh right there gives it away that he's lying.
Find Sonic.
Yet Knuckles still falls for it. They load you back here for like a second before going to the Mystic Ruins.
Is after the
Again,
Master Emerald.
these decisions make no sense.
I'd better work fast and get to the bottom of this.
Alright, I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for that momentary distraction. Now we're looking to go to Red Mountain with Knuckles. Oops. I have to wonder if this audio is too quiet. Hopefully it's not in the playback.
You've got the shovel claw. Now you can dig through dirt and stone. Press the jump and action buttons simultaneously.
Monkey destruction switch. What a weird item, but again, more of the charm that this game has that I appreciate. Alright. Glide around till I get a tick on the radar. Oops. There it is, partially floating through the ground. Oops.
This way.
Oh. Ah! There's a weird hint orb here from Tikal that says, "You're going the wrong way." Not that one right there, to clarify. Oh. Where am I going?
This way.
Oh, that way. Yeah. Right there. Wonder if we'll get that glitch again this stream. Probably not. You never know with Sonic Adventure. And that's with this game, again, generally performing better than the DX versions on the whole. Even the Steam version modded, sadly. It's not. With the Dreamcast conversions, it can never be one-to-one with this version. Unfortunately.
There's Sonic. Eggman was right. What's that in his hand? It looks like a piece of the Master Emerald. He has no right to have that. Hey, Knuckles! Whoa! What do you think you're doing? All right. Put him up. Hand over the emerald now. That's not gonna happen, buddy.
Sorry, there was a sticker on the back of my controller still. It was annoying me, so I peeled it off. And no residue. That's good.
Oh no!
I was like, huh, that doesn't feel the best.
No! I've had it. Oh no!
At least we get to enjoy more of that underrated theme
Oh no! The chaos!
briefly, but still.
Eggman! What's he doing here? Uh-oh!
That's all there is to it. You guys are too easy.
That's a chaos emerald.
First come, first serve, they say. And you serve me too well for your own good.
You can't get away with this. Knuckles, did you let him trick you again? Like you weren't? Smooth move, knucklehead.
I've got 4 emeralds now. Here, Chaos.
You always get that slowdown when he's first popping up out of the ground in this scene.
Come here, my company.
Now look what he is.
No problem. I'll make him eat dirt.
To me, you can't just make make the boss exercise itself from the code. I was trying to think of like an eating dirt joke, but no. And we're back to the long version too, which means 5 hits to beat him. He's probably going to do the ball attack this fight. But compare this boss to every boss, even the character fights in Adventure 2. Those are way more active than this. You spend, again, a lot of this boss fight just waiting for him to pop up whenever the fuck he feels like it. I guess the one exception would be BioLizard as Shadow. But even he has set windows where he's vulnerable, you know, and it's more of like a memorization thing. Even that's more thought through than this. More well thought out. Come on. And there's nothing you can do to make him pop out faster. He just does it whenever he pleases. Oh, he didn't do the ball attack. I can't remember if he did during Sonic's fight, but maybe we went this whole live stream series without seeing it. There are no boss rush emblems in this game, unlike Adventure 2, so we will never be seeing this boss again. Good friggin' riddance.
Behold my flying fortress. My creation, the Egg Carrier. Beware. Chaos's true power is yet to be unleashed. We shall meet again.
Hurry, Sonic! What are we waiting for? My workshop's closed, so let's get the tornado and go after him.
Good idea. Hey, Sonic. You go on ahead without me. I have some things I need to take care of. Knuckles. We'll take care of everything here. Let's move.
I like going up here and talking to them.
Hey, Knuckles. Whatever happened to your unfinished business?
Once again, he's not even standing on his own ground,
We better go after the egg carrier.
on his own flooring. Dude's a legend. I don't know how he does it. And now we have another key hunt.
2 stone statues. The door to the past.
I think I just left the gold one at the entrance there. I remembered for sure where this one is. Or where this one was. But not the other one. There is also one more upgrade we can grab here. So I'll go ahead and do that on the way back to finding the other statue. You got the fighting gloves. They're yellow.
Now you've got fighting gloves. To store up power, hold down the action.
That's a
Now
classic
you feel the
reference.
maximum heat Knuckles
Sonic
has.
Shorts. Which I still have not watched the newest volumes of. I need to change that. Or Casino Calamity, for that matter, which finally released. It's in my watch later on YouTube. I still haven't watched it. If I get to watching it before the next stream, I'll let y'all know what I thought of it. Yeah, I was right here. It blended in with the floor texture. There's probably a different speedrun route of jumping on the tops of those trees there to get back quicker. But I sure as fuck don't know it. And it's not like this is a speedrun anyway, so...
2 stone statues. The door to the past.
Really? Okay. Where am I
This way.
going? Up here. I guess the good thing about streaming this game right now... Whoa! What was the camera doing there? The good thing about streaming this game right now, as opposed to Adventure 2, is that I don't have to stress about getting ranks as far as the stream goes. I just comfortably do these again until I've beaten the main stories, and then go back for the rest of the emblems, like I was saying. In the enemy, right? Oh, come on. Oh no, it's in the little house here. Or on top? No? What the... What a weird spot. It's not even like in the center of some rings like the one in Red Mountain was. Just kind of a weird spawn.
Where am I? This is very strange.
I beg of you, hear me now. My father is coming here soon, and I fear what may happen. You must take everyone away from here.
Because I played Adventure 2 first as a kid, before Adventure 1, the Tikal quotes that they reused for her in that game's multiplayer, they stand out to me whenever I hear them in this game.
You can't leave this place?
Like, I beg of you was one of her special attack lines.
There must be a better way to do this. Don't worry, my friends. I won't let you down. I must do something quickly.
Yeah, her voice acting's not the best.
What? I'm back in front of the altar.
How convenient.
This is beginning to blow my mind. Wait a minute, I remember. The broken pieces of the Master Emerald. I have to restore them to where they belong. It's still incomplete. I need to find the remaining pieces, wherever they are.
His dead ass, the Sonic Heroes pause sound effect right there. They just reused for that game.
Eggman's flying fortress. That's where the rest of the pieces must be.
The textures on the demonstration egg carrier there are horrible too.
But I don't know where that ship is.
Possible plot hole.
Hey, isn't that one of Eggman's robots? I know.
At no point during Gamma's story
Eggman's base.
before Betrayal does he come back here.
Come, Eggman.
What I choose to believe, and this is a theory I gained thanks in part to an old Sonic Adventure abridged series that I watched on YouTube many, many years ago. Is that this is Gamma wandering around in a confused state after Tikal ambushes him when he kidnaps Froggy for for his flashback scene. And in his stupor, he goes way out of his way over there. And from there, both Knuckles and Big stealth their way onto the egg carrier. That's how I believe it went. So this is Gamma during his stupor. While he's in the flashback, pretty much.
Just what I thought. Time to make a house call.
I was gonna say, in retrospect, I think I prefer Knuckles' story to Tails' story. But then I remember this upcoming level.
We'll see who's so easily tricked. I can sense that the emeralds are here somewhere.
Knuckles' Skydeck is a fucking disaster. And you're about to see why in just a few minutes.
What's going on?
What's going on with your fucking hand texture on the right? Your right hand texture there, Knuckles. That looked weird.
This thing's always changing.
It's something with the shading on the fighting gloves. That looks so strange. Do you see that? Like the little brown part? It's on both hands.
Find the entrance to the sky deck. The Master Emerald is there.
I sense the Master Emerald. It can't be far from here.
Oh, you actually have control before the cutscene ends there. Interesting. Massive respect to the people who can speedrun this version, 180 emblems, any percent or otherwise. Outside of it being the best version, outside of it being the best version, when you're not modding the Steam port, I could not imagine doing that. There's too much start and stop, unskippable cutscenes unless there's tech to skip triggering them. Level designs like this just goes for speedrunning Adventure 1 in general. I hate this stage. You have to go up and tilt the ship. You can't even properly climb this wall. Like, what the hell was that? You, like, climb it partially, and then the game just stops you for no reason.
Either push or pull the lever to control the ship's tilt.
Bingo. One more. At least we only had to tilt it once.
Good enough.
Depending on the spawns you get, you may have to tilt it more than one direction. Like tilt it one way to get another piece, to get one piece, go back and tilt it another way to get another piece, etc. Freaking etc. That is why I dislike that level, and it's clunky to navigate too. You can level some of the same criticisms at something like Aquatic Mine from Adventure 2, but
Oh no.
I find that level way more interesting level design wise too. That was literally just Sonic's last part of Skydeck condensed into the treasure hunting stage.
Hey, what happened here?
I couldn't stop them.
Something I completely forgot to mention in Tails' playthrough, and another reason why
I had no idea.
a lot of this game just feels half baked to me. Even the good parts. Like most of Knuckles' story, I would consider good. The low points being Chaos 4, Chaos 2, because of how brain dead it is, um, in Skydeck.
Is this a dream? It's more like a nightmare.
Like, yeah, you have another repeat boss that we're about to get in the form of Chaos 6.
I finally found all of the missing emerald.
But you can at least, do double damage to it, just like you can with Sonic with the maximum heat Knuckles attack. Which you can potentially miss though, unlike Sonic's light attack, which is mandatory, or light speed attack. So Knuckles' drowning sound for no reason. But yeah. You can at least speed this fight up if you have the right upgrade. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Ah, not again! I hate you!
Hey, Sonic!
There you are, Knuckles. About time.
I will return!
Eggman, come back!
I'd better let Sonic handle it from here. He'll do okay. Now, I must return to Angel Island and the Master Emerald. No, it can't be. I guess he didn't get enough the first time.
He just pops up.
You can't stop me from restoring the Master Emerald.
Except this time you don't have Eggman. Useful idiot as he is in Sonic's version. And you have blackened parts of the stage right there that'll damage you if you come into contact with them. It looks so odd and janky, that animation. It's the only time in the game it's useful. Fight me. I don't think many people would fight me on that, actually. Same with the light speed attack for Sonic.
Is that all you got?
My attack is so powerful, it makes me clip to the floor. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, I think even with Skydeck,
Yeah, you're finished.
I might prefer Knuckles' story overall to Tails.
The Master Emerald safely to my island.
No Skydeck breaking the pace. Or no Sky Chase Axe breaking the pace. No Sand Hill. You actually have to work to find the emeralds. Tails is pretty low brain power. Ironic, despite the character's intelligence. though maybe his levels being easy are a meta commentary on how smart he is. So, I don't know. and Sonic taking the long way through the levels because he doesn't want to. Though he's fast, he doesn't want to pass up on the scenery. There's all sorts of meta contextual stuff you can use to justify the design, but yeah, personally, I don't find even again, Tails and Knuckles are good parts of this game, but even the good parts don't stack up to other good games in the series for me. Other better games.
All is well now. The Master Emerald and the island have been restored.
There's a lot of, levels, with one exception, that you play in the stories after Sonic, assuming you beat Sonic first. They can tend to feel like sloppy seconds. Like smaller little chunks of level that are repurposed to fit whatever new objective there is. Again, kind of like a Super Mario Galaxy 1 type of thing, level design wise, because those levels can be pretty cropped too,
Probably be on this floating island forever,
from my memory anyway.
guarding the Master Emerald again. I may not know the whole story behind this, but perhaps it's better that way. I'm at peace once more.
The vocal songs from this game are pretty great. Like I said, the music is top notch. Not as good as Adventure 2 in my opinion. Not as good as Adventure 2, but pretty good in its own right. I do prefer Knuckles and Rouge's stages from Adventure 2 to these ones in Adventure 1. But again, you at least have to put some thought into finding the emeralds. Unlike Tails, where 3 of his 5 stages are just abuse the broken flying, pretty much. Sonic remains the best part of Sonic Adventure, which fitting, considering he his name is in the title. And his levels have the most work put into them comparatively. And we're not completely done with Sonic. We obviously still have some emblems left, particularly in Skydeck, Lost World, and Final Egg, I believe. Maybe 1 or 2 other stages. Red Mountain. And those levels are fun to speedrun through. Like, it'll be good to go back to how Sonic controls after we're done with Gamma and especially Big later on in this run. Yeah, there isn't much else to say about Knuckles in particular. I like his story in this game. It's pretty cool. He gets the most to call flashbacks out of anybody, which is nice. It just, for me personally, I've sat through this story so many times, and it really does suck that you can't skip cutscenes on the Dreamcast version. Even other games I can think of that are notorious for having unskippable cutscenes on release have had mods or patches made to be able to skip them or at least speed them up. Case in point, Kingdom Hearts 1 on PS2. You cannot skip cutscenes in that game. You can skip cutscenes in PS2 Final Mix if you've seen them before, which is still not ideal considering how long that game is. It's an action RPG. Fortunately, though, within the last couple of years, someone released a cutscene skip patch that works both on hardware, PS2, and the PCSX2 emulator. So that's pretty neat. There are also mods for Final Fantasy X, the HD version, that do not skip cutscenes, but at least speed the game up while they're playing. So you're through them quicker and back to the action a little sooner. Though I don't really follow the modding scene for that game specifically, so maybe there is a cutscene skip by now. Maybe even a 60 FPS mod. Probably not, though. Still more than this game has, though. Other than the DX port, which is flawed in so many other ways, you cannot skip cutscenes in this game. You can skip them in DX, which makes that version preferable to most people for speedrunning. But the best looking version, aka this one, does not let you do it. It's sad. Let's keep going. Let's go through Amy's story. We're going to have a lot of time to talk in this one, because her story is mostly cutscenes. It's like Metal Gear Solid over here. Not to that extent, but it can feel like you're playing a Metal Gear Solid game, or even something like Dirge of Cerberus at points. Though at least in those games, even on your first run, you can skip cutscenes. Let's see, other games you can't skip cutscenes in. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII on PSP. I love that game. I even prefer it to the Reunion release from like 2022. For a few different reasons I can elaborate on if I ever stream that one. But no, in the PSP version you cannot skip cutscenes, even if you've seen them before. Probably a disguised form of loading in some fashion too. But even then, I still like the game. You know, its gameplay makes up for it, and the story itself is really good.
Hey, what's going on here? Is there an eclipse today or what? Nobody forecast a storm or anything.
Also, Shadow the Hedgehog. As much as I like that game, a couple big flaws with it, or I should say more than a couple, are Mad Matrix's Dark Mission blows. You tolerate it more if you're going for library runs, but then again, the library takes a long time to complete. I have done so myself, actually. That is an update since the last Sonic Adventure stream, actually. I completed the library in Shadow the Hedgehog on GameCube. All 326 routes. That is another game where you cannot skip cutscenes if it is your first time viewing them. That being said, the cutscenes in that game are not crazy long. They tend to be pretty short. They load pretty quick, assuming you're playing on GameCube or Xbox, not PS2, sadly. You can skip them on repeat viewings, and again, they're short, so I can tolerate it there. And runs in that game, run-throughs of that game, like library runs, are generally over in 30 minutes to an hour. Star Fox 64, you can't skip cutscenes, like planet starting cutscenes, if it's your first time viewing them in that game. Still love that game, though.
I'll protect you.
Yeah, but about Shadow the Hedgehog, if it weren't for the library, if it weren't for the cutscene library, you you could consider that game to be the quickest 6th gen Sonic game to 100%. And this is with keys, and this is with secret keys in expert mode and A ranks and expert mode in mind. But the library makes it take way longer. I love the game, but I acknowledge that that is a flaw with it. And that's why you don't see anybody except for like absolute masochists wanting to speedrun all 326 library paths in that game. Single segment. Like, fuck. People have live streamed single segment all emblem runs of this game. And that is no easy feat. They won't do it for Shadow the Hedgehog, as far as I know anyway. There are talks of wanting to do it in the Adventure 2 speedrunning community, as I found out recently. In fact, there is a glitched way of doing it. But because of Chow Adventure 2 and just generally stuff, bad stuff with RNG there, not to mention all the VMU batteries you would need unless you were using the VM2 or something like that, like I said. Or emulating it in something like Flycast, but that's not one-to-one with hardware, so the boards don't allow it. The speedrunning boards for Sonic Adventure 2 do not allow it. And unlike Adventure 1, Adventure 2 Dreamcast is on the same page as Battle. Because they don't consider it different enough to justify it. To justify a whole new page, I guess. Yeah. 180 emblem runs people have done of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, but there are no non-glitched ones of the Dreamcast version as of this stream. You can barely make out the W in that welcome. The upscaler I'm using does not do this game any favors.
I give up. She's so weird.
I'm only forced to use it, though, because my CRT is in the other room, and surprisingly, the monitor I'm using, because I got a new monitor for my desk recently, been mainly using it as a second monitor for my laptop, and a monitor for playing MechWarrior 5, Clans and Mercenaries. Well, more recently, Clans, actually. I haven't played Mercenaries on it yet. With some friends on the weekends on my Steam Deck. This HDMI monitor, it also has D-Sub and one other weird older connection, I believe. It does not accept resolutions below 720p on the HDMI, which is insane to me. This means that, again, I cannot use the mini HDMI on my modded the mini HDMI to HDMI adapter that I have for my modded Dreamcast. Because this thing is not only modded for the GDMU, it's also got a mini HDMI port modded onto it for 480p support. But here's the thing, it doesn't go any higher than 480p natively. And neither does the GameCube HDMI adapter I have for that matter. So, because of that, I have to feed it through this shitty upscaler that I've been using for years on like the demo disc videos and stuff, which messes up the colors, stretches the picture, and just isn't great for the quality overall. I prefer to play games like this in 4x3 anyway. Not this stretched garbage. Shout out to the non-modded HD release that doesn't support widescreen too. Just 4x3 with the stupid-ass border. Bad-looking 4x3 as well, because it's a port of a port of a port. Just does not look very good. Ah, you missed, loser. Yeah, so that means that the GameCube and the Dreamcast have to be fed to this upscaler, and that's why the video quality isn't as good. So, my apologies. This at least won't apply when I'm streaming stuff like the Xbox 360 or the Steam Deck, because those systems do not need an HDMI adapter or an upscaler. It just sucks that I can't use my... that I can't have this game looking the best it can. On native hardware, anyway.
Sonic must have gotten lost too.
I'm gonna put my controller down, because we're in for, like, a massive amount of cutscenes here.
Watch it, bull brain! Let us down! Let us go!
Of course, I say massive amount of cutscenes, and really it's just two really long ones. Followed by a minigame, a level, more cutscenes, some backtracking for one more upgrade, and another level, and a boss. That's right, Amy only has one boss fight.
What do you want?
Hand me the bird.
Nope.
Quietly hand over the bird.
No, never.
Why not?
I don't need to tell you anything. You tell me why you want it now.
Does not compute.
You don't even know? I know you might.
I do prefer Gamma's dialogue, and the dialogue in general in Gamma's version of this scene, which we probably will not see this session. This is the last story of the session I'm going to play, and then I'll probably call it. But I am also streaming more of this Wednesday night, or Wednesday evening.
You have feelings for something you know nothing about.
May or may not have guests that stream. Austin and or Cody, we shall see.
Pity you.
Just depends.
Not part of your
I haven't decided on the exact time yet.
good. Hey, Birdie, come back here.
Go. Escape.
Well, what? You sure?
It's dangerous here. Hurry. We'll be at the Mystic Ruins base soon.
You're really nice. You're different from the other robots. You've got a soft spot inside your metal frame. If you want, we can be friends, okay?
How nice of him. Of course, you turn around and he's just sitting here.
It is dangerous here.
Fine, time for Hedgehog Hammer. I hit X there, and my hammer didn't come out right away. I already made the cutoff.
Behold the warrior feather. Now you can do the spin hammer attack. Press and hold the action button and move the directional pad in a circle.
Let's just do it here to show it off. If you do it for too long, you get dizzy for a few seconds. But it has no practical use.
Hold onto the handle and turn the key to the left to open the door.
Oh my god. She climbs ladders so slow.
This must be the emergency drainage switch.
Oh, we'll be back in this room later. Just wait. Left 1, right 3.
It says left 1, right 3.
Fuck pushing the ladder. The stairs. Just jump. I think you can even make it up there with a hammer jump if you angle it right. Oh, nice. That was a good jump. So sorry. I will be right back once again. Alright, I am back. Let's go. Oh, come on. Thanks for taking away my shield, asshole. Thanks for hitting me, asshole. That was a bomb from one of the Yukikis over there, I'm pretty sure.
Move the handle and the lift should move.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of how Amy plays, and this is easily her longest stage. Oh, come on. Yeah, Zero's whole gimmick is that if you hit him too many times, he becomes invincible. So most of the time, you just want to try and dodge him. $6.22. Oh, man. Yeah, this playstyle sucks. All things considered, the Wi-Fi is handling this stream pretty well. May up the bitrate a little bit next time. Sadly, not much I can do on the frame rate side, because
What's this place?
even streaming this game at 60 to cut down on, like, YouTube compression, the game itself is locked to 30, barring menus, credits, and Twinkle Circuit. Still, looks better than if I were to just upload it at 480p 30. Or 720p 30 for that matter. Shimmying ground textures.
Don't be afraid. You're safe with me.
That is Amy's only time seeing Chaos until the last story.
Gee,
Until
what
Supersonic's
was
story.
that? I wonder if I'm dreaming. Oh my! I need to get out of this place!
Where do you think you're going, Amy?
Eggman, no!
You can't get away this easily.
She sounds like she's scolding a dog there. Eggman, no! Now let me just slowly walk over here.
It's a Chaos Emerald! What?
I don't need you when I've got this. Gamma!
Best delivery of Eggman saying Gamma in this scene out of all of them.
Dispose of these annoying pests. Give them all you got. Aye, aye, sir. Will comply. I've got better things to do.
Stop, Mr. Robot! Please stop!
Amy? That's one of Eggman's clunkers. Out of my way.
No! He helped me before by letting me escape. This robot is different. You don't need to hurt him, okay?
Amy. Okay, I guess I'll let him go then.
The egg carrier's losing altitude.
We're fresh out of time. Take Amy and clear out, fast.
What about you?
I'll nail that Eggman. Can't let him escape.
I knew you would save me, Sonic. You're my hero. You okay? It's dangerous here. Don't pay attention to Eggman anymore. Free yourself. Come on.
Why are you helping me?
I said we'd be friends, and I'm returning your favor. Even this birdie wants you to be free. Eggman's not the kind of man you should work for. Amy, come on. Let's get going. Until we meet again, Mr. Robot. Take care of yourself.
Oh my god. I never took down the BRB. I am so sorry. You got game audio for all of that, but not the. Oh my god. Oh my god. You at least got the game audio. Oh my goodness. I mean, Amy's not the kind of high speed gameplay that you expect from Sonic the Hedgehog, a series like it. In this game, you can find videos of it a dime a dozen on YouTube. Fuck me, I'm so sorry.
I wonder what Sonic is doing. He's always rescuing
You're gonna be seeing Hot Shelter again for the other emblems anyway. Oh my god. Again, my apologies.
You know, you sure surprised me.
I just looked over at the thing and saw the BRB thing was still there. I was like, oh my fucking god. You're just gonna be hearing the cutscene audio and my occasional commentary.
Hey, cousin, what's
Oh.
So I'll help you find your family. Does Eggman have them captive now? I bet he does. So I'll help you find your family. I've come this far. I may as well go all the way. That robot said Dr. Eggman's base is in the Mystic Ruins. So what do you say we check it out?
Yes, we will. But first, we can't go there right away. We have an upgrade to go get. It's really not necessary. I mean, it helps your hammer have longer distance, but realistically, how often are you fighting enemies in Amy's levels? And it barely helps out the spin hammer attack as well, which, again, doesn't have any utility. So it's like, if I didn't care about 100%ing this game, because yes, the title is 100%. That doesn't just mean all emblems. I would not bother going to go get this thing. If it were like an any percent run, this thing is fucking useless. The jet anklet is optional and has more utility than this fucking thing. Gotta try again. I think it's 3,000 that you need to break this time. Oh, come on. Oh, why did I do that? Oh! Oh no, it's just the score that you get the first time. Kind of like Sky Chase. I think? No. It was just because I got a new high score, I guess. Come on. Oops. God damn. Shit's hard. Shit's hard for a thing I'm never gonna use. Has more utility than the spin hammer attack on principle. But still. I think that's enough right there. Long hammer.
Here's the long hammer. Your attack radius is now increased. Try the spin hammer attack.
Alright, get me out of here. Yeah, this would be my only chance to get it during the critical path. Because if you do the next level and then come here, you just go straight to the boss. Otherwise, it would just be a post-game thing.
The train headed for Station Square will be departing soon.
I hate going through the jungle as Amy. Going through here with Big is even worse. Which is why I'm glad we're ending the stream before we get to him. And next time on Wednesday, we begin the stream with Big. Get him out of the way. Go through the game with Gamma, Supersonic, and then probably leave the rest of the emblems for the next session.
Dangerously suspicious.
Or returning to there. Or returning there.
Wanna go?
Second and final time having to deal with the final egg door puzzle thing. This level feels really tacked on.
Not you again.
Hot Shelter is super long, and this one is really short. Not as short as Twinkle Park was, but still pretty short as far as levels go. Ouch! Ow! I love RNG! This part of the level is completely random. Could be the first one you check, could be the second, could be the... It was the second, okay. Yeah, it could be the very last door you check, too. On some runs of that stage. Fuck. Yeah, 206 compared to the 6 minutes that we spent in Hot Shelter. But you only have me to go off of for that since I forgot to turn off the BRB screen for so long.
That was a close one. I saw no sign of your relatives, Birdie. Oh, you escaped from the egg carrier. So maybe your family's still in there. Let's investigate, wanna?
So not only does it feel tacked on, like, pacing-wise, yeah, it feels tacked on in every sense of the word. Story-wise, pacing-wise, design-wise, it's just... Not a fan. I just went in a circle. And this is the Dreamcast version, so you don't have a pause... You don't have a map in the pause menu to show you where you are. That was something they only added in DX. I love me some padding. That's what the majority of Amy's story is, just padding. It's a good story, but the gameplay here is lackluster, to put it lightly. Like, the stages are lackluster, oddly paced. Like, the first and third are really short. The second one is really long. The boss we're about to fight is really easy. And it's over and done with. Like brevity is a really good thing when used properly. But that's the thing. When it's used properly, Amy's story is so brief, it goes in one ear and out the other. And when you're actually playing it, it feels miserable. Not as miserable as the next story we're going to get to, but pretty damn close, nonetheless. Like, Final Egg was pure filler.
Are you okay? You idiot! How could you do this?
Alright, Amy's only boss fight. Ouch. Little troll. Ah, come on. I'm so close to the end here. Not letting you use that spin attack again. Of course he uses the spin attack again, but not in the center this time. I've never seen this. He's not hard, he's just annoying. Let it be known he can be defeated way quicker than I got him. She's facing the wrong fucking way.
Please wake up, Birdie. Are you okay? Can you fly? Whoa! You did it! Now you three can live in peace again.
Her model does weird stuff during this scene.
I'm so happy. I'm going to try my best too. Just watch me. I'll make that Sonic respect me. And by that time it's gonna be too late.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Just completely quickly resets the default position after that. Also, nice character development there. Shame it gets ignored after... Shame it gets ignored literally every game after this. Except arguably stuff like Frontiers, from what I've heard. She's not as pushy with Sonic nowadays, is what I hear. Yeah. Amy's playstyle ain't it, Chief. It really ain't it. And it's only downhill and then slightly uphill from here. Downhill with Big, slightly uphill with Gamma and Supersonic, only slightly though. And then we have the emblems. So yeah. Nevertheless, it did feel good to get back into streaming this game after so long. Even with the technical problems. Yeah, so I'll let these credits play, and then I'll end the stream. I was almost tempted to just cut them off early, but no. A weird frame to include in these credits. It also summarizes how I feel about this story playthrough. Zero's up there, just like, throw your hands in the air like you just don't care. That's how I feel to be streaming after so long again. I was like, yeah. These credits do go on a while. Also, these ones, for some reason, these screenshots for Amy's story are not in canonical order. Because that scene right there was from when she first saw Sonic in Station Square. But it's the last frame they chose. So, I don't know what's up with that. And her theme song's pretty good. I know people meme on it, but it's a good song. Alright. It has been a fun stream, but for now I must bid you adieu until Wednesday evening. Take it easy.